Hello, this is Andrea St. George. I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about using a technology to enhance an educational experience at my workplace. Interestingly enough, this is my second attempt. I lost my entire recording from a few minutes ago, so hopefully this one works out better. So I work at the Natick Soldier Systems Center. It's an Army R&D facility in Natick, Massachusetts. And what the researchers and developers do there is they work on all the stuff that keeps the soldiers safe overseas. So the food, the shelters, the uniforms, the helmets, the boots, the goggles, the parachutes. So the mission is really, really incredible. Because we do the food, we also help during natural disasters. So we're very present in the Haiti crisis a few years ago and stuff like that. So the mission is just absolutely phenomenal. This role did not exist. I'm the organizational development specialist. It did not exist when I got there. So I was a training specialist. So I managed the training database, the training room, the training calendar, and most importantly, the training credit card. And when I saw some of the money we were paying external vendors, contractors, consultants to come in and do some of the org development work like team building and coaching and conflict resolution, I asked if I could possibly get certified in some of these things. So starting in 2009, I started obtaining certifications, and I've been just growing the role since then. So I love what I do and I'm passionate about what I do, but I am only one person. So you know, I can't do it all, and I can't, and I love the people stuff, and I love the emotional intelligence stuff and the softer side of things, and that's not what everybody wants to see for their training opportunities. So I realize that, and I think that this is why these TED Talks are a wonderful opportunity for me to sort of grow the education that I can offer without actually being a pro in any of these areas per se. So this also brings different styles, different perspectives, different, like I said, expertise into an educational experience that I can still provide. So let's get right into it. So the idea that I had with these talkbacks is as a group we will come together and in a training room or a large room with a big screen in front. We'll watch the talk, and then we can talk about it deeply as a group. It was not my idea originally. The brilliant Dr. Brene Brown came to speak to my organization back in 2011, and in a follow-up conversation she mentioned that this would be a great idea, a great way for us to bring different information to our workforce without paying for expensive experts to come in. So an interesting thing is a couple of years ago when I was wrapping up my master's degree, I did my capstone project on what kind of training the workforce would like to see come on site. I was just sure that they were going to say leadership development and emotional intelligence and other soft skills training, communication skills, but alas, they wanted scientific and technology training. So I'm less passionate about that, but it's what the workforce wants. So this is a way, using the TED Talks, that I can tap into some of those more scientific or technological conversations without having to learn it myself or without having to bring in expensive vendors. So these are some of the ideas of what I would like to talk about: harmony, IQ, EQ, that middle slide is supposed to symbolize resilience. So I would have to really grow and ask what they want. So at our first meeting, I would want to get together with the people that were interested in becoming part of this educational series and ask them what they want. What do they want to talk about? Where do they want it to dig deeper? And fortunately, on the TED site, which is here on the screen, you can filter and search by language, duration, and topics that you want to see. So my first meeting with them, I would really want to enhance the positive psychology of the group and ask them what they want to see. I'm invested in what they want to see and what they'd like to talk further about. I would set up some ground rules for the group, for any group I do this, and I've learned the hard way, which I'm sure a lot of people have had experience with this. But I would set up some ground rules like this is a non-judgmental zone, and the Vegas rule, which is confidentiality, what we say in here stays in here. And this is not a place to vent negatively about leadership or any other group. I have in leadership development courses had people really start to criticize the current executive group, and it snowballs, and I've lost control. So I make this a ground rule right right off the bat now. And by having some of those ground rules, I'm really tapping into the core components of emotional intelligence, mainly self-awareness and self-management. By asking folks to question for clarity and be open to new opinions and ideas, I'm addressing the potential cognitive biases that I might see. Specific biases that I'd be on the lookout for include confirmation bias, folks interpreting material that confirms their preconceptions, framing, staying too narrowly focused on the topic, and the bandwagon effect, of course, doing or believing something because other people do or believe the same. So a little bit of groupthink there. I talked a little bit about this before, what the design and of the actual talkback would look like. I would like to be in a room, either classroom style or where we're all facing a large screen, and I could project the TED Talk up on the screen. And once the talk is over, we could, you know, readjust our chairs, so maybe we're in a circle and we can just talk really richly about what we just saw and what we've learned. As a facilitator, I see some of my roles as getting the conversation started if they're having a hard time, like kicking it off, or then again, maybe redirecting and getting them back on topic if they go off topic. I would also keep my eye out on the crowd to make sure that everybody was doing okay, that people that wanted to have their voice heard were getting their voice heard. And I want to make sure that the space feels safe as well. So here I'm tapping into my own emotional intelligence skills of empathy, relationship, and service. So this is a great thing that I could do for my organization. By organizing these talkbacks, I'm able to provide an education series without being the subject matter expert. Additionally, they don't get bored with one facilitator. Of course, I would see myself facilitating the conversation after, but they would hear from really dynamic and engaged and passionate subject matter experts in these talks. This also gives folks in my organization an opportunity to become part of a group and have rich and meaningful conversations that they maybe otherwise would not have been able to have. And as a final note, what's extremely interesting about this is you ask us to go a little bit where, you know, outside of our comfort zone. This idea was first presented to me in 2011, so that's 5 years ago, and I'm curious if I think it's such a great idea, why I have not implemented it. I must have a little bit of hesitation around that. So this has been a very interesting project, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. Thanks so much.